The very first thing is today what we are going to learn, Power BI service, right? Or you can say Power BI cloud, or you can say Power BI.com, right? What happens actually once you develop your report, where we develop the reports in Power BI desktop, right? So Power BI desktop is our report development tool, right? After development of the reports, we publish our reports on Power BI service, right? In order to publish our report, Power BI desktop to Power BI service, we need one Power BI account. This account can be a free account or a pro account, right? It means you can be a free user or a pro user. Okay, so to publish any report from the Power BI desktop, you sign in the Power BI desktop. How? Let me show you. You sign in the Power BI desktop with your Power BI account, and then after you see there's one publish button. Okay, so you just simply click on that button and it asks you, Power BI desktop asks you to select a workspace, right? So you need to select the workspace here. So you need to select the workspace. Okay, after selecting a workspace, what happens? Your report and your data set would be deployed, would be published into the Power BI service. It means on Power BI cloud. Okay, now from the Power BI service, you can, or users can access the reports, they can view the data from the reports, they can export the data, right? So basically Power BI desktop is a report development tool or a report authoring tool, and Power BI service is mainly used for viewing the reports and dashboards. Okay, so basically Power BI service is a presentation layer. Although Power BI service is having the capability to build the reports and to build data model as well. In most of the scenarios, Power BI service is in use right now for just for the reports viewing purpose. But if you want, you can build the reports on Power BI service, and you can build the data model also on Power BI service, right? All right. So now, if you see here in Power BI desktop, you can see we have to first log in, right? So here you can see there is a login button, right? Just click on it. Here you see there are multiple things, like if you want to sign out, and let's say if you want to sign in with a different user, right? Or if you want to view your account, or if you want to open the Power BI service, then directly you can click here, and in browser Power BI service, you can see here app.powerbi.com will be open here. Okay, or directly you can make this. This is a default URL, right? This is a login URL. So like me, you can sign in this, you can just save this login URL as a bookmark. Okay, or you can simply search, you can just Google here Power BI login, right? That's it. And this is the first page. So this is your first login page, which you can save as a bookmark in your browser. First thing we need to understand that what is Power BI service? What's the architecture of Power BI service actually? Power BI service is a cloud-based solution, right? When I say cloud-based, see, Power BI service is a cloud-based solution, right? And what is cloud? So what is cloud actually? What is cloud technology? See, cloud in short, cloud is something like you use you use only the services, and for using those services, you just pay some amount to the cloud provider. Okay, cloud provider could be Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Alibaba. These 3 or 4 are the main leaders in the market, right? So basically cloud computing is nothing but it's just an on-demand availability of the computer system resources, right? Like in for example, if you are going to deploy any mobile app, okay, so what you will do, you don't need, you will in your like in the like last 10 to 15 years before, what we were doing, we were just getting the hardware, servers, RAM and everything, and then we deploy the things there, right? In case like if we want to if we want to develop some app or some website, then first we must have a server. On top of that server, we will install a lot of tools, lot of plugins, right? Like we'll install Java, .NET. When hardware failure, simply use Power BI, and it's a Microsoft product. So we are just talking about Microsoft and Azure. Okay. So when I say Azure, Azure is nothing but it's a Microsoft cloud platform. Okay, on the Azure, you can use different services based on your needs. All right. So when I say Azure or any cloud provider provides you the platforms in different manners, like IaaS. What is this? This is infrastructure as a service. This means you can use cloud computing in these three different ways. This is platform as a service, and this one is software as a service, right? So what is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service? So let's understand it one by one. Just a quick overview of what cloud is actually. So let's say if you are going to build any website, this is on-premises infrastructure. So in case if you want to build any website, then what you have to do, you have to purchase hardware, servers. You need to hire some technical people, technical engineers, hardware engineers, software engineers, networking engineers. You need to set up the complete network. You need to manage the data storage. You will be responsible for any hardware failure, any power issues, patches, upgrades, software. That is one thing. But upgrades of hardware, it's a very difficult thing. Let's say in the earlier days, like in 2000, P4 machines were there. Then i3 came, then i5, then i7. Same way, like in the Windows Server, like Windows Server 2002, then R2, then 2008, 2000 R2, then 2012. So based on the time, Microsoft or any company also stop the support and the new licensing structure for one platform at one time. Then you will not have any way you have to upgrade. Okay, so it means if you are upgrading, then again you have to pay some dollars to company, to Microsoft. You have to hire some technical people for upgradation. So there is like a lot of mess up, which everything you need to manage. Upgrade hardware, right? So these are the only few things. Apart from this, there are a lot of things like security, major concern, right? You need to invest a lot of money in just managing the data security or the privacy of your company or of your data. Okay, and some like disaster recoveries. So all these things basically you need to manage in an on-premises infrastructure. Okay, but once cloud technology came into the market, then it gave us a lot of flexibility. Now cloud provider says, means Microsoft says, if you want to manage everything, then you go with on-premises infrastructure. But generally nowadays nobody wants to go with this because it's it's consuming a lot of effort, time, and money, right? So Microsoft and any other cloud provider, they started giving the choice, like either based on your need. Let's say if you are just building a website, okay, for building any website, what you need, doing a development of any website, what we need a server, means a one OS. On top of that OS, we need the hardware, right? Like we need a machine. In that machine we need 6 GB, 8 GB, 20 GB RAM. Okay, and then we need a network, like internet connection, right? We need a OS, let's say like Windows 10 or Windows Server, Linux, whatever you want. Okay, on top of that you need the development tools like SQL Server and Visual Studio, and there are some other components, right? So you need to, based on your need, what's your need is. So for example, if you are going to manage, if you want to manage like hardware, RAM, and like OS also, so on that level if you want to go, then you can go with the infrastructure as a service. You can opt this one, right? So in this one you will be managing almost like everything. You will be having the control of everything. Based on your need, you can manage that. Okay, then it next comes to the platform as a service, right? So if you go for the platform as a service, then here you will get a RAM, everything like would be set up for you. A platform will be given to you for starting your development. Let's say you want to build a website, so you just activate you will just activate a Windows or any OS machine. On that, you will choose like which components you want to get it installed on this machine and everything. Like within just 10 minutes, your platform would be ready for starting the development of any website. Right? You don't need to go market and purchase the hardware. You don't need to hire technical people. You don't need to set up the network. You don't need to purchase very expensive like data storage hardwares. No, only just activate the trial Microsoft Azure account, get a subscription, okay, and subscription would be like monthly basis, okay. So activate some subscription and just activate a Windows 10 OS machine. On top of that, you can install tools, which one you want. Based on the requirement, based on the usage, you will pay money to Microsoft. That's it, okay. So if you want to build a website, then you can use this one. Now, what is software as a service? Let's say you don't want to build anything. You just want to use, okay. You just want to use. You want something like, see, what I just want to eat, let's say pizza, but I don't want to build it. I want to like cook it. So what we do, we just go to restaurant where we just, based on our requirement, based on the space in our stomach, we just take like, let's say 2 orders, 3 pizza, 4 pizza, burgers, right? So everything is ready. You are just consuming it. Based on the consumption, you will pay, right? So this is the same thing. Software as a service means a software, a service, a product will be ready to use. You just start using that and pay. That's it. In case if you want something like, no, you want to cook by yourself, okay. So what you need a platform. Means you need a restaurant, you need you need some microwaves, some stuff, but you will bring all that stuff. Let's say all the ketchup and all the vegetables, everything you will bring, right? So it means that is a platform. A platform is ready for you. Next is infrastructure. Means, no, this time you don't want the restaurant, you don't want any table, any chair, everything you want to build, but you just want a space. You want some space, some plot where you can construct your own restaurant, a small, just 1 or 2 room. In that, you will just get some hardware, some machines, and then start building that, okay. In infrastructure as a service, you need to manage like a technical team, right? Then when we go to the platform as a service, then yes, you need to manage a technical team. You must have a technical team, but you can go with very less people. And in software as a service, no need to manage anything. You no need to hire or manage a technical team. Why? Because everything is pre-built. If anything goes wrong in that software, right, then what you need to do, if something got wrong, or like, let's say if your pizza is not good, so you simply order, you simply complain to the Domino's, Pizza Hut, like, hey, this is not good, I'm getting this problem, go and get it fixed as soon as possible. That's it. You will wait just for a few minutes and you will get it resolved. Okay, so you don't need to think about it, only you will just use it. So in the same way, if you are using software as a service, and let's say if patches are to be done, or any migration, or any feature is not working, then you don't need to care about it. If although Microsoft will automatically identify if there is any failure, or if anything is not working, or if you complain that, then they will look into that for you. Okay, this is the software as a service. All right, so now when we say Power BI service, right? So Power BI service is what? Now you have an idea, like we can understand, like Power BI service is an infrastructure as a service. No, because we are not managing. We don't know like what, on which software, on which computer, what's the RAM of that machine where the Power BI service is running. We don't know anything, or we don't need to manage it. So it's not this one, right? Platform as a service, no, right? It's software as a service. Why? Because it's a pre-developed application which you are just using, and based on the usage, you are paying money. Okay. On the other hand, let's say Office 365. What is that? That is also a SaaS application, software as a service. Microsoft just built that Office 365 and published that into the cloud as a service. And now let's say you say like, I want 3 license of Outlook, right? So just they give the 3 license to you. It means you are just using the Outlook. If something goes wrong in the Outlook, then Microsoft has to fix that. You don't need to worry. Okay. So Power BI service is a SaaS, or generally in short, we can call it SaaS, software as a service. Power BI service is a SaaS based solution, right? Gives you a flexibility to use it, and based on the usage, you pay money to Microsoft. All right. So I just tried to explain the cloud technology and what are these 3 different platforms. infrastructure, platform, and software as a service. So did you guys got a basic idea like what is it, how does it work, and why Power BI service is a cloud solution? And if you go in more detail, then Power BI service is a SaaS based cloud solution. Okay, right. So this is a quick answer. What is Power BI? Power BI is a cloud based BI solution. If you want to make it more accurate, then just add one term here. Power BI service is a SaaS cloud-based BI solution. It means it's a software as a service cloud-based BI solution. Correct? So within just one word, you can describe that what is Power BI. Power BI is SaaS application. Okay. All right. Now let's move from here. So this was just a basic what is cloud and what is Power BI, how Power BI service is cloud. Okay. So it means when you put any report on Microsoft Power BI service, then it means you are putting your report, you are deploying your report somewhere in Microsoft server. That the server would be physically located somewhere, let's say in East US, in somewhere in city, right? So your report will be deployed, will be stored there. Instead of storing it in your machine, it will be deployed, it will be stored there. And from there, using the network and everything, the complete setup, using that, you will be accessing it. Okay, from worldwide, from anywhere, you can access your report. Okay, all right. So let's go back to Power BI service. So now when you log in into Power BI service, you see this URL, right? So this is a global URL. It means it's a cloud solution. It's a website. It means you can access it from anywhere. Okay. So now the point is how to log in Power BI service. So just click on the sign in button. I'm sharing the login link in chat window. Now all of you can just log in with me using your credentials. Okay, so now let's log in into the Power BI service. See question here, can we log in on both desktop and service? Yes, you can. But at this, it's at the same time you can do that. But in Power BI desktop, you need to log in only when you want to deploy your report. If you are just building the report, you are just doing the development, then no need to sign in. Okay, it's up to you. But when you want to deploy, when you want to publish your report on the Power BI service, then you have to tell Power BI desktop that in which account you are going to publish it. So you have to sign in into the Power BI desktop. So here is your Power BI service. Click on sign in. Here it will ask you to credentials, right? So my account is already saved here. Otherwise, you will see here a screen like this. Here you will enter your credentials. This is a trial account, right? So you can enter this email ID. But in case if you want, you can use your official email ID also if you have the Office 365 account and you have a Power BI service account. And here you can enter your password. And on the next screen, you see whether you want to like save the credentials, right? To reduce the number of times you ask to sign in, it's up to you. Once done, now you will be able to see Power BI service homepage. Okay. All right. So now the very first thing is you have to activate your Power BI Pro account. Once you log in here in Power BI service, you have to activate the Power BI Pro account. How to check that Power BI Pro is activated or not? On top of your screen, you will see this message like you can see on my Power BI account, Pro trial, 27 days left. It means I have already activated the Pro trial. Okay. And now 27 days are left. So if you are able to see this Pro trial and days limit here, then it means your Pro trial is already activated. If you don't see this Pro trial here, then it means you have to activate. Okay, so how to activate? Here you go to the settings tab. First option is manage personal storage. Click on it. And you will see one yellow button here, activate Pro trial, right? You will see one yellow button here, activate Pro trial. Just click on that and your Pro trial will be activated for 60 days. Okay. Just make sure that you have activated the Power BI Pro trial. Otherwise, if you don't activate the Pro trial, Pro feature, then you won't be able to use most of the features of Power BI service. Okay, because there are some Pro features which you can access only if you have the Pro license, right? So that's why you need to activate this Pro trial account. Okay, I see another question. After complete Pro trial, can we use service without Pro trial? Yes, then your Power BI Pro trial, it means your Pro user will be automatically converted as a free user. So if you see here, my account is a Pro account. So you can see I have 10 GB of space. Okay, so it means I can publish data or reports up to 10 GB. If you don't activate Pro trial and you use as a free user, then your limit would be only 1 GB, right? So free user limit is 1 GB, pro user limit is 10 GB. So once you activate this Power BI Pro account, then you are ready to use all the Pro features. Okay. All right. So okay, guys. So now once we log in successfully in the Power BI service, then we see this is screen. This is Power BI service interface. Okay. So let's have a quick walkthrough about this screen, what we have, what different features we have here. Okay, I'm just taking a highlighter, then I'll start. Okay, so this is the Power BI service interface, right? Here, let me just quickly give you a walkthrough. So here, if you see this part, right? So this is what all this is part is your navigation pane, right? So here you see multiple things, which is like your home button, favorites, recent apps, shared with me, workspaces, and the workspace name. All right. So if you don't want to see this navigation pane, you can hide this by just clicking on these three lines. If you see here, you notice here these three lines, click on these and this navigation pane will hide and you will get the more space to view the report. Okay. Now what is home button? So this is screen you see here right now. This is a home page of the Power BI service, right? Just click on it and you will get the home page. Next is the favorites part, means in this screen you can see all the reports which you have marked as a favorite report. Another recent tab, you can see all the reports, all the workspaces, dashboards, Excel, which you have accessed recently. In the next tab, you see apps. Apps are nothing, it's just a way of sharing your reports and dashboard with your team or with any specific user. So generally, whenever you want to share, you have to share as an app, but it doesn't mean like if you want to share one report, then create one app for that. If you share another report, then you create one more app for that. No. So generally what happens, like department wise, you can create the apps, or based on the like different teams, you can create the apps, right? We'll come to this point in more detail. Shared with me tab is something like if Munag created one report, okay, and Munag deployed the report in his Power BI service account, and now Munag wants to share that report with me. Only one report he wants to share with me, one-to-one sharing. Then he will share the report from Power BI service with me, and when I want to see that report which was shared by Munag, then I'll come to this section shared with me, and here I'll see all the reports which have been shared with me by other users. Okay. Next tab, you see workspaces. Workspaces are nothing but these are the containers, right? It works same as folders, right? Like you have multiple files, Excel files, Word files, PowerPoint files, some images, some CSV text files. So instead of putting all the data in one folder, what you do, you organize them in different folders. You create one folder, let's say for Word files, Excel files, and third folder you create for PowerPoint files, and you put all the data, all the files into the different folders. Okay. So in the same way, when you, for example, if you are creating some sales reports, right? So what you will do, you will first create a space here, right? And all your sales reports, dashboards, or whatever the stuff is related to the sales department, you will put that into this sales workspace. In the same way, you can create another workspace. Like let's say if I'm from finance team and I want to create some reports, so I will create and I will publish those reports into the finance workspace here. So these are like just a containers, means in the workspaces you can deploy your reports, you can deploy your data sets, you can create the dashboards, you can upload Excel workbooks, right? So all these things basically you can put into one workspace. Workspace you publish as a app, right? So there are different ways of sharing your content. Let's say if you want to share only one report, then individual report you can share with individual user. But let's say if you want to share 200 reports with 800 users, then it is difficult to share one by one. So for the bulk sharing, you have to create a workspace, and that workspace you have to publish an app. Okay. Here you see one more workspace, which is my workspace, right? So this is a local workspace for each user. It means I see my workspace, you will also see your workspace, right? So this my workspace is a default workspace for each user. We cannot share or we cannot publish this my workspace with any other person. Okay, this is my workspace only. It means if I'm doing some R&D, some development or some POC, then I can put that report into this my workspace. Nobody will see the data from the my workspace until unless I share a report or dashboard from the my workspace. Okay. The workspaces which you see here, like finance and sales workspace, these can be accessed, these can be shared by different users based on the permissions you assign to the workspaces. Okay. Next. All right. So this is just a quick overview of this navigation pane. Now on top of your screen, you can see a search button. If you have like multiple reports in your Power BI service in your company and you want to search any specific report, let's say if I want to search test report. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll simply search the test here, and here I'll get the test, right? So using this, you can search your Power BI dashboard report name. When you open any report, on top of that report or dashboard, you see some different buttons or different settings like these. Okay, like file, view, added report. So these options are basically for reports and the dashboard. Once you open the report or dashboard, then you will see these options. Apart from that, you see here one full screen button. Click on it and your report, your Power BI service report would be displayed into the full screen mode. Once you open any dashboard or report in full screen mode, by default, you will get a print option here. You can click on this print option and you can print your report or dashboard, or you can save it into the PDF also. From here, from this button, you can exit from the exit mode. Next button you see here, notifications. So what is this notification? Let's say if Monarch shares any report with me, then I will get a notification, and that notification will be displayed here, right? Like Monarch shared this report with this name at this time. Okay. Next you have settings tab. Under settings tab, we manage a lot of things about the Power BI service. Okay. Like if you want to manage the usage, you want to manage the reports, you want to delete any report, any data set, or you want to like control the sharing permissions, you want to restrict any user, right? You want to perform any admin activity. Okay. So for all these things, or even if you want to refresh your data, you want to manage the data gateway, everything you manage from this settings tab, right? Next, you have the download button. From this download button, you can download a Power BI component. Let's say if you want to download Power BI Desktop Data Gateway, then you can just come here and you can download. Click on the Power BI Desktop. It will take you to the another tab, and Power BI Desktop download will start. Okay. So this is just a quick link to download anything if you want. On the next button, you have help and support, right? So if you want to read something, you want to see the community, you want to get help, or you want to see any shortcuts about the Power BI service, then all these things basically you can just check from here. Okay, so these are the shortcuts, right? So it's just a help button for you. This is next is a feedback button. If you want to submit any feedback or if you want to report any issue to Microsoft, you can do that from here. The next button is your login button. From here you can see the account which is right now signed into the Power BI service, and sign out button. Okay, so these Power BI these reports and dashboard buttons or features you see here on this will come in next few minutes. All right, so this is Power BI service interface. It's a very user friendly, easy to understand and operate. Okay, now let's move So the first thing is, before publishing anything on the Power BI service, we need to decide in which workspace we are going to store it, in which workspace we are going to publish it, right? Let's say I have this Power BI service report. Let me just open up Power BI service report. Okay, I just started one Power BI service, Power BI desktop report. And now we want to deploy this report. We want to publish this report on the Power BI service. Okay, so very first thing is we need to decide like in which workspace we will publish it, right? So right now you see two workspaces, finance workspace and sales workspace. So you can publish in any of them. If you want to create a new workspace, then here is the button, create a workspace. Click on this, and here we can create the new workspace. So you can define a workspace name here. Let's say this is your purchase workspace. You can upload any image for this workspace by just clicking here. You can define, you can describe this workspace, then what's the purpose of this workspace, or which team, or who is the admin of this workspace, right? So here you can define any description, right? Then click on save button. Once you click on save, one workspace will be created, and click on the workspaces. Here you will get a list of all the workspaces here. Okay. So right now I created this workspace. It means only I can see this workspace right now, because I haven't shared this workspace with any other person. Okay, so this workspace would be visible for me only. Okay, and in some of the companies, or in some cases, your admin, your Office 365 admin or your Power BI admin may block or may restrict you to create the new workspaces, right? So if you click on and create a workspace and nothing happens, and you see a message like your administrator restricted you, then it means your admin has been restricted or blocked you to create the new workspace. It means you have to use only those workspaces which you see here, or my workspace is always yours. You can do whatever you want with this workspace. Okay? You can publish your reports in this my workspace. So my purchase workspace I created here. Now when I click on the publish button here, right, first thing you notice that I am already signed in into the Power BI desktop. Let's say if I am sign out. Okay, now I'm not signed in. When I click on publish button, it asks me to sign in into the Power BI service. Okay. Once you are signed in into the Power BI desktop, you can see your account name here. Okay. And here now you see the workspaces list, my workspace, finance, purchase, and the sales workspace, right? So now you have to decide in which workspace you are going to deploy, you are going to publish this report. Let's say I'm going to publish this report in purchase workspace. Then I select purchase workspace here and click on select. Now this will be published into the purchase workspace. Okay. But if right now, if you log into the Power BI service and you check whether you are able to see this purchase workspace, then you will find it's not visible to you, right? Why? Because I didn't share this workspace with anybody. Click on this workspace, and here you see different tabs. In these different tabs, you can see this is your dashboard tab, reports, workspace, workbooks, datasets, and data flows, right? So whatever you want to see, let's say I want to see the reports, then I go to the reports tab, and here I can see the report which I just published right now. When you publish any report from the Power BI desktop, along with the report, dataset will also be published with the same name of the report. So the report name was data visualization 1. If you go datasets, so dataset is also published with the same name. If you want to change the name of it, then from here you can rename it. It's up to you. Okay, but generally we don't rename the datasets. Okay, we keep the practice like dataset and report should be having the same name. Okay, so now you have report and dataset in this workspace. Now this report you can open here and you can see it. You can interact with this report. You can get the data, whatever you want. You can get the information from this report, right? But this report is right now accessible by you only. Now if you want to share this report with any other person, right, then what you have to do, here you see some of the actions, right? So you see here the second button is for sharing. If I want to share this report only, not the complete workspace, because in this workspace maybe in future I will be having more reports, but those reports I don't want to share with you, only this report I want to share. So individual report I can share. So just click on the share button. Here I grant access to users. Let's say Munag and different users. Let's say, okay, Anita and so like Sahil, right? So let's say on only these 3 users I want to enter here. It means this report I want to share with these 3 users. Okay. If you want to share your report with multiple people, then you can enter the group email ID here also. Let's say you want to share it with like purchase team member, procurement team member, then you will be having a distribution list or a group email account for the procurement team. So right, you can mention that, you can provide that account, that email ID here. You can mention any message here because once you will share this report, they will get a email notification. The next you have some buttons here like allow recipients to share your report. It means if I am sharing this report with these 3 people, then they will be able to share this report with any other person. It means further they can share it. If I deselect it, it means now this report cannot be shared with any other person by these 3 people. Okay. Allow recipients to build new content. It means if user wants, if I select it, it means user can use this data set, and using this data set they can build their different reports. It means different visualization. Means they can use this data set, and on top of this data set they can build another report. Third one is send an email notification to recipients. Means if you want to notify them by sending an email, then you can check mark it. Otherwise you can deselect it. It's up to you. Okay. Here is the report link. If you directly wants to share this link with any other person, then you can just copy it and share it through email or Skype, whatever you want. Then you click on share. Now this report has been shared successfully with these 3 people. Okay. So if you guys just log in your account and you go here under the shared with me tab, then you will be able to see this data visualization 1 report. Okay. And you can click on that and you can access. Okay. But still you won't be able to see when you will click in your here in workspaces, you won't be able to see the purchase workspace. Why? Because I didn't share the workspace. I shared the report only. Okay. So it's same as like if I share this file with somebody instead of sharing the complete folder, right? Right. So this is individual sharing. All right. So here I explained that how you can share report with any other person, right? So this is the way, like if individual report you want to share with anybody. Okay. Instead of sharing the complete workspace, you can share one report or one dashboard. On Power BI service, there is nothing to write any code, any script. Only the thing is you just need to, you must be aware with all the features, functionalities, the way of working, and what is the limitation, how to use them, how to interact with them, right? This is the thing like which you need to know. Power BI service interface is very user friendly because most of the time only non-technical people use this interface, use the Power BI service. All right. Okay. So now I see one question here. Whatever we publish on free service is confidential. Yes, it is confidential, right? Because if you are publishing anything on the Power BI service, it means you are publishing it onto the Microsoft cloud servers. Okay. And Microsoft take care all the security and all data privacies. Okay. And until unless you don't share any your report or workspace with any other person, then they won't be able to access it. Right? Like I shared this report, this data visualization report with 3 people, then only 3 people can see it. Other people won't be able to access it because I haven't shared this report with other people. Okay. Next question I see, can we modify subject line while sharing? Okay. So subject line in email, you want to modify? No, you can't do that. When you are sharing one report with any other person, then you can't modify the subject line of the sharing email, okay, or the notification email. But there are some other things where you can modify the subject line or you can write the mail body also. Okay, but for this feature for sharing report, you can't modify. All right, next question I see, can we publish the report without activating Pro? Yes, you can, but you can publish only in my workspace. Okay, because when you click on create a workspace, you must be a pro user, because this is a pro feature. Creating or using the workspace is a pro feature. You can publish report in my workspace only, but you can't share. Why? Because sharing is a pro feature. Creating workspace is a pro feature. Okay. So you can publish in my workspace like this, as I have published these reports, and only you can view. Once you will go here onto the share and you will click on to sharing it with anybody, then you will get a pop-up that you are not a pro user, so you can't use it. Either you have to purchase or you have to activate the pro. Got it? Like most of the things are pro features, like sharing, workspaces, apps, schedule data refresh, admin activities, right? So most of the things like are the pro features. Or you can say like the good things and the good features are pro features. If you want to leverage all the features you want to learn, then you have to activate the pro. All right, next question I see, after create a workspace pro trial completed, then we can use workspace what we create. Create workspace. Okay, so you created one workspace here, right? And this workspace only you can create if you are a pro user, if you have having the pro license. Then can we use workspace what we now? Yes, once you create the workspace, then you can use this workspace to publish your reports inside this workspace. Okay. Now this workspace also you can share with any other person. The complete workspace, if you want to share, then that also you can do, or you can publish workspace as an app. Okay. Okay, I see another question. When you share a report with me, can I build a relationship with my dataset? No, you can't build the relationship. Only you can do the visualization. That's it. I'm just sharing a dataset with you. I'm not giving you the authoring or editing permission into the data model. You can just use that data set for visualization purpose. That's it. Okay. Let's say you want using the same data set, you want to design a report in a different view. You want to like create a new view or a new report, but data set would be same. You won't be able to change any formula. You won't be change any like measure, any calculation, any deletion, any updation you can't do into the data set. Okay. So this is a way, like let's say if the entire sales data set has been published, and now all the sales members, they want to create their own reports based on their need. Let's say somebody wants to see only the total sales, somebody wants to see the total sales achievement over the target, right? Somebody wants to see the comparison of last year versus previous year, right? Somebody wants to see the customer wise sales, right? So based on their need, whatever they want to see, they can design, they can build, okay, directly on Power BI service. Got it? That's why it's called a self-service BI. Okay, I see another question. A published report with modifying data access but cannot share to others. Can we modify and republish it? See, data you can't modify. Yes, let's say if you have shared your report with any other person and after that you modify the report from Power BI desktop, right? Let's say I remove this, I convert this donut chart to, let's say, in pie chart, right? Like this. Okay. And now I want to publish it again, then click on publish again and it will be updated. Okay, it will be automatically updated and it will be synced automatically with the people with whom you shared it. Okay, you don't need to reshare it. Okay, next question I see. So let's say if we divide a big project within us, how can we combine all those when everyone is done? You can't. It would be a manual work. Let's say I added two pie charts on one report, you also added two pie charts, right? Then manually we have to update it. This is right now a drawback actually. It like on same report at same time, you can't contribute, like multiple people can't contribute. Let's say I added on the same report, I added one pie chart, you added one bar chart, okay, and you saved, then after you saved the report, then I save the report, so my report will overwrite your changes. Okay, so it means at same time two people can't work on the same report. Or you can build a save copy of that report, save as report, and after that you can copy paste the work. Let's say one page I created and the second page you created, then I can consolidate your second page just copy pasting in my report. But you must be having the same data set, same structure of the tables. Okay, next question I see here, can we view data sets of shared report? Yes, you can. Okay, thank you.
This is how we can work with the having clause in SQL. And this brings us to the end of this session. Thanks for attending, and let's meet in the next class.